Honest lot. La 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 la.
At the top is just us. Just us.
Big owls in the place!
We're the best right now, best in Europe, best here.
I would have agreed with you if you said Arsenal are one of the best teams in the world. Yeah,
Correct.
then just stop.
I agree. Are we not allowed to have chest?
I hope when we beat them, the apology is as loud as the disrespect.
Arsenal went out there and they dominated from start to finish. The only chances Madrid got were Arsenal mistakes.
I think to say Spurs being in a title race at any time of your life
Exactly.
should be sentenced to death.
All the evidence that
I call this the Florian Wirtz 008. I got it from the German Argos. It's absolutely incredible. Gets into the corners very tight, covers loads of grass.
They're missing the creativity of Trent
creativity.
Alexander.
Absolutely.
You know, because
I am Liverpool Football Club. I made you what you were, Trent. Real Madrid. Not Hala Madrid, Hala Liverpool.
like, he was the best right back in England, right? So
Are
how
you
could you
missing
not
him?
miss him?
be honest, you are missing his creativity.
Big Popper says. I mean, Flex always criticises Van Dijk. He's the best there is, and there ever will be.
Well, that's not true.
Isak started.
Oh!
Van Dijk played.
Oh!
Stretching.
Oh!
Pilates.
Oh!
That was the performance against Chelsea.
You lot are brutal today, man.
The head coach, Arne Slot. You're the head coach. This is on you. You go and fix this.
If you draw this game, I'm sorry, it's not a disaster.
When I suggested that we could beat them, you lot was hammering me.
But you can't say after 8 games, it's
not 8 games.
For me, that
not
you're
8
now
games.
the best.
No, because I know what you're gonna do. Like
What am I going to do?
the history of the Arteta.
The progression.
I don't think Christian is like super delusional in this take. And like this is obviously coming from me when it comes to Arsenal.
What the
okay?
hell's happened to
What
you?
the
First
hell?
round's back now. Fair enough.
You're sick.
No.
Bro, do you want me to not give an opinion until May, until we lift this?
Absolutely not.
No.
We'll get into the score predictions now. Liverpool must win this game.
What do you do with yours? I do unlimited football content.
Well, I do unlimited bragging.
Well, I do unlimited swiping right.
Well, I do unlimited doom scrolling.
Well, I do unlimited sliding into the DMs.
Well, I do watching TikTok on the bus without headphones unlimited.
Oh, God.
Yes, everybody, welcome back to DR Sports. Welcome back to Live at 5. I am back. I'm no longer ill. I'm out of the gulag. And today, I'm joined by Kenya on my left. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm all right. I feel so much better.
Actually, you should be saying thank you, Kenya, for stepping in for
you
me.
stepped up big time.
Thank you. Because
Big
I want to
time
go
step
home.
up. Big shout out to Kenya.
Exactly, because I want to go home. And I had to do Lab 5 yesterday. So you owe me.
Thank you. And then further on my left, there's Josh. How you doing today, Josh?
I was just watching the germs being passed.
Are you germaphobe? Bro, I'm fine.
Am I German? No,
fine
I'm
these days.
Polish, bro.
No, but you want to walk to Germany, don't you?
Yeah, I'm walking to Berlin.
We just had this discussion.
Yeah.
Josh wants to walk to Berlin.
I'm walking to Berlin. Sponsor
wants
me,
DR
people.
Sports to sponsor
yeah,
it.
I want everyone to sponsor me. I should start a GoFundMe, whatever those.
Go for
Yeah.
it. Just
Go fund my walk to Berlin.
Which,
walking
by
to
the way,
Berlin.
I have for my marathon. So if you've
Oh,
not
there you
done
go.
it,
Yeah.
everyone donate.
Yeah,
12
there you
days
go.
to go. Trying to raise £1,000. Link in the description.
You can do
Also,
it.
Nick is back.
Yes,
I've
sir.
been ages since
It
I've
has
seen
been
you,
a
man.
while, innit?
It's been a while.
It has been a good
You're
while.
on the Saturday Football Show, and that's
Yeah.
the one show that I've never been on.
Yeah, I've been busy as well. I haven't been on the Saturday show as much, but we're back today. And I'll be honest, man, I can't lie, I'm bored right now, man. I want football to come back. But the only thing is, when it does come back, it's FA Cup.
I'm enjoying life.
Nah, but you're enjoying life.
I'm
Arsenal
enjoying
fan.
life. Yeah,
You
I'm
should be
enjoying life.
Now, as a United fan, this is the only period of my life over the last 2
I'm so
years
bored.
where it's been
so
good.
dead.
And it's the only period where there's like 2-week gaps of no football.
See, we play like every 3 days.
24
So I
20,
need
23
rest.
days.
It's a
I
mini
need
break.
rest. I don't even play. We play every 3 days. I need rest.
From what? Watching
Yeah,
football?
what?
Yes.
You need the reset time.
You guys don't get it. Because you play once every 10 days. We play once every 3 days.
Humble,
Like-
Kenji,
Okay,
please,
okay,
humble,
okay,
please.
no.
Who is this?
If I had to pick my position right now or Arsenal,
Of course. Whoa. I didn't say
Arsenal's.
that. I didn't say that. I said I needed rest.
You know what
Yeah.
it is? To be
If you
fair,
were
here,
no.
no.
So do all your players, by the way, because they're all injured.
To be fair, Dylan, it is warranted.
she?
No, it is
11
warranted.
players, I think, have come off.
It is warranted though, because because if you do have to watch Arsenal play football every three days,
Whoa.
I would be tired too. So it's
What, tired of being at the top?
it's a little bit warranted. It's a little bit warranted.
What, tired of being at the top?
No, you sound like Uncle Laurie, you know.
Tired of being at the top? Oh, yeah, right. Go on, carry on.
That was a mix
Proceed.
of Laurie and FJ. that was.
Proceed.
That was the most Laurie FJ mix.
Big up Laurie and FJ.
Okay. But anyway, talking about the top and then the bottom. Spurs, literally in the last 10, 15 minutes, have confirmed that Roberto De Zerbi is the new manager or head coach of Tottenham.
Crazy.
How weird
We
is
will
that?
be there. We will be.
So they
I
said,
cannot wait. I'm willing to wait. I am willing to wait for a couple of months. And when he does that press conference, it's like every other Spurs managers is coming out cussing the board. We will be there. I will be there.
because I remember
Wait.
Igor Tudor, literally 3 or 4 weeks ago, came
Mate.
out and said, yeah, it's a lot bigger than I thought it was.
Brother, he said that after the Arsenal game.
Yeah, crazy.
He was one game in and said, this club is pants. He said, rah, this is deeper than I thought. We will be there for the De Zerbi crash out.
And De Zerbi knows this, bro. He knows this already. He's whatever securities he got. Yeah, he already said, yeah, if I'm coming, I'm not coming till the summer anyway. Yeah. So they're already getting him earlier because he wanted he probably wants some kind of security, like, yeah, give me a 5-year deal give me something, whatever. So when I
just higher
do walk out,
wages.
so when I do walk out, I can go pay up. And then on top of that, if they don't stay up and they go down and he's the manager,
What happens then?
He's surely got an exit.
What happens
Like,
then? Yeah, he must
surely
do.
he has an
He must
exit
do.
clause.
He has to. You know what my thing is with Robert De Zerbi? Like, if you just look at it from a pure coaching point of view, you could do a lot worse than Robert De Zerbi.
Yeah,
if you just look in terms of his football ideas, football philosophy, there was a time when he was at Brighton, he was being
He's a
complimented.
very, very good coach.
Yeah, of course. And there was time, like I said, he was being complimented by big managers with the way that he wanted to play football. But the problem is, there's a few problems. First of all, you got 7 games, right? How are you going to implement the way he wants to play with this set of Spurs players in 7 games? That's going to be really
not
tough.
even their best team.
Not at all their best team. And then also, secondly, like, it's chaos and chaos. Do you know what I mean? It's a chaotic manager in Robert De Zerbi where everywhere he's left. I mean, Brighton, he didn't leave on bad terms, but Marseille, he left in a car crash pretty much towards the end. It was him versus the board. That was obvious.
But he left and then the board still left. That's how bad it was.
Yeah,
Their sporting director still left afterwards.
Good point. Yeah, fairs. But point is, like, you literally got chaos and chaos.
He will call that out. He will. That's why everyone's sitting there going, why would you get a guy that you know that you're a terrible board? The fans view you as such. Your previous managers have viewed you as such and said as such. Yet you're getting in a guy who will say basically what is going on. So it's such a weird appointment because
He'll say exactly what they don't want to hear.
What they don't want to hear. And even though it's probably gonna happen, I think like De Zerbi would have been the good manager for them when they were just being, you know, the average top whatever, fighting for top 4, and you get him in like the same way when they should have got when they did get in Ange, or then even after, well, maybe not after Ange, but
Thomas Frank, basically.
Even Thomas, but he's that level. He's that level. Do you see what I'm saying? And at that time, that would have been the right time to bring him in. Whereas now, it's just like, what are you doing?
Thing is, it's tough because it's like, what? It's weird. Like, if you're a Spurs board right now, what do you go for? Do you go for like,
No,
I don't know, just
drop your pride and go and get Big Sam. Like,
Nah, I don't know if that works,
no.
bro.
What do you mean? Do you want to? It's very simple. Do you want to be in the Premier League? Yes.
Okay,
go and get someone who knows how to fight a relegation battle. Go and literally get them in for them 7, 8 games, whatever it is, and tell them lock in. Get them players. Just, you know, those players' heads are on Mars. Some of them are probably even thinking, yeah, I can't wait to leave, blah, blah. Nah, get someone in, like a Sean Dyche, like a Big Sam, whoever you want to say, right? Get them in, get the players locked in, try and at least win 2 games. Because I think if they win 2 games and maybe draw once, they can stay up. They can stay up.
But the thing is,
7 or 8
go
points
and get
is
someone
probably
like that.
enough.
Don't go and get a guy that's been a car crasher at every single club. Even when he left Brighton,
it's true.
even when he left Brighton, that didn't even end that great. Like, there was still comments at the end. Like, the guy's not left anywhere, probably other than Shakhtar, in a good way. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, no, the Robert De
So
Zerbi
dumb.
point is going to be fair. The
So
only thing I'll
stupid.
say on like a Big Sam kind of character, I mean, first of all, he's been out of the game for for a little bit of time. His last job was Leeds, and that didn't go well at all.
Okay.
But also, like...
He said doing Just Eat ads. I know he's available.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. He's out of the game, bro. He's out of the game. That's what I mean.
Them three in the Just Eat adverts, go and call at least one of them.
Yeah.
Tony Pulis.
Yeah, go and
Sam
call
Allardyce,
Sam Allardyce. Who else is another one?
Yeah,
Go and call them up.
Listen, get all three of them.
Get all three of them. Get all three of them.
Do you know what?
Make one defensive coach, one head coach, one set piece.
Even if you've done that, they're still going down, fam. They're still going. Like,
I
don't see. Even with whoever it is, yeah, I've still been looking at it, going, who's going to be able to do this in 7? Like, it's become such a small probability because whoever it is, it's like it doesn't matter. Like you said, if they could get 2 wins and a draws or whatever, then they could survive. But when they brought in Tudor, that's when they should have done it because that would have given that whoever it was a little bit of cushion time to.
Games.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, do you know what? This is working. This ain't working. 7 games.
Yeah.
That's a madness.
Nah, it is. I can't lie. They could very well go down at this point.
Because the other thing that I found so mad, which I've said a number of times about Tottenham, and them in the relegation battle is different to the other 2 teams in the relegation battle. Is like at West Ham, you've got a manager who knows how to stay up in Nuno. And you've got players who know how to scrap a point. Like, how many times have we, even as United fans, see Jared Bowen scrape a point against us last minute or
last Premier League game, Mavropanos header against Man City, mate.
Yeah. Point. So they have that. Forest obviously is a bit more chaotic at Forest, but they still have players
getting a point against Man City.
Yes, they know how to fight. They people who've been there before. At Spurs, no single player in that squad. Actually, no, some of them have been in relegation fights before, but they've been Spurs have gone and cherry picked players from relegation battles who actually maybe like the team have gone down on Spurs and then cherry picked them or something. So therefore, no one at Spurs knows really the ins and outs and the motions of how to actually survive a relegation fight. So I was thinking, okay, you've got one space available here to bring someone in right now. You can't bring players in, can't bring board in, everything, but you can bring a new coach in. Why not bring a coach in who just knows that? So I was thinking like Sean Dyche or something and give him a £4 million payout if he keeps you up. Then try and go and get De Zerbi again in the summer. Because literally what they've said is that... let me find it. Sporting director Johan Lange has said, Roberto was our number 1 target for the summer, and we are pleased to be able to bring him in now. He's one of the most creative and forward-thinking coaches in world football and brings a wealth of experience at the highest level, including the Premier League. And I'm looking at, you aren't in the highest league. You don't need creativity. You don't need forward-thinking. You don't need any of that now.
What they need is haram ball. You need to put everyone behind the ball and just...
Yeah, but but do you trust Spurs to do that?
They must.
If I'm the Tottenham board, right, and I've seen what I've seen from this team over the last like 12 to 18 months, this team does not know how to do back against the wall defense.
No, but they're not good at anything. They don't know how to do that. They're not good at anything. We've seen it with Ange. Okay, let's try do the sexy, free fluid football. They're not good at that.
But this is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter, Kenya. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's literally when you're saying even with that, yeah. That's literally going, right, let's do that and just hope for the best. What happens anytime you've heard any Tottenham fan, oh, I hope this. How many times does the word hope come out of Abby's mouth and then whatever she hoped for didn't happen?
My thing is when you're in a relegation battle, you need to make yourself hard to beat. That's the whole point. So I think if you're going to get someone who's very creative, very free-flowing in how they play football, and a Roberto De Zerbi, to me, that doesn't make sense. What Spurs need to do is make themselves really, really hard to beat. So you look at West Ham, you look at Forest, although they're down there, they're not easy to beat. We've seen that in the recent games, do you know what I mean? They beat Spurs. They've got both teams got points against Man City. They're not easy. You're not just going to go and, brock them up like you were at the start of the season. So I think that's why, to me, you're better off going and get those unpopular, not sexy figures like a Sean Dyche or whatever, because you need to make that team.
I just thought Sean Dyche was
right
so
now,
bad.
Spurs is an easy 3 points. Let's be honest.
Devil's advocate.
I'm looking at West Ham, I'm looking at Forest. That's not an easy 3 points.
No, of course.
That's why they have a higher chance of staying up right now than Spurs do. So they need to make themselves harder to beat.
Devil's advocate point though, and I agree because I don't think Robert De Zerbi right now makes sense with 7 games to go. But what if they've thought they didn't respect Tudor, probably because they knew that in the summer he's gone anyway, caretaker manager. If we bring in another caretaker manager, we fear that with this group of players, once again, they won't respect him, they won't listen to him, he won't be able to get a performance out of them. So if we bring someone who's permanent now, then their position next season is up for review by Robert
but I
De Zerbi,
also-
so they have to get their act together. Do you know what I mean?
I hear what
That's
you're
just
saying.
devil's advocate on that point.
I hear what you're saying, but also a lot of those players already got their head out
Yeah, a
the
lot
door.
of
Do you know
them
what I
are
mean?
gone.
You got a Romero, you got a Van der Ven, you got a Jed Spence. A lot of those players look clocked out, and I think when you go and get someone like Roberto De Zerbi, who's got a track record as well, falling out with players, being very harsh in, you know, training ground and stuff like that. I think, let's say he goes in there and he falls out with Romero and he just omits him from the team and you're still losing. Like, you've actually just made the situation more toxic.
I actually think he should go in there and not play the players who don't want to be there. Do you know what I mean?
They just
they're
relegate
going
them
down.
now. They
They're
just
just doing it.
relegate them
But
now.
do you know what? Do you
Because
know
that's
what?
basically, that's
No,
literally
no, I don't
basically
think
9
so. I
players
don't
of
think
the
so. I
11.
don't
But
think
they only
so, it
have
is.
about 14 players. They've got about 12
That's
injuries.
literally like 9
Literally,
on the
If
starting
you might as well
11.
is
you might as
half
well
the issue.
forfeit the games. But do you know what the other thing is as well? Is that realistically, both De Zerbi and the board at Tottenham will know that there's a high risk of Tottenham actually going down.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's been hired and agreed to is, we were saying, he might have a get out clause, but it might actually be that they've gone. There's a strong possibility that we're going down. You staying here and sticking that out. You basically get to do what you want. When the funds come in, you can buy whoever you want, as long as you get back into the Premier League. That could be what the deal is. Not that just do it. Because I don't see De Zerbi doing that, I'm going to jump into the end of the season and I'm going to jump ship. Like, what's even the point? That's just a waste of my time. Like, why even do that?
I think whatever it is, he's probably got a very healthy pay package.
The
100%.
the flip side of it is, and I do think so. Obviously, we keep talking about the idea of Spurs going down, obviously, because it's a super real possibility. But let's say they stay up, right? Because there's still a real chance that Forest go down. There is still a real
forbid.
chance the West Ham go down. So,
God forbid.
if you think God forbid,
forbid
Spurs stay up,
God forbid.
Even Leeds as well. Don't forget about them.
Leeds.
The Tottenham
Yeah,
of the
Leeds
North.
are
but
low-key
Leeds
in
2
it
points
as well.
ahead of Spurs.
Yeah,
One win. I say
Leeds,
it's a big
believe.
ask, but one win for Spurs and they're above Leeds.
Nah,
what
but
I'm saying.
Leeds' form has just dipped. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like Forest and West Ham have picked up a little bit, whereas Leeds have just
Do you
dropped.
remember,
Yeah,
when
they've
Leeds
dropped a
were
tiny bit.
scoring a load of goals against big teams?
Yeah.
I look back.
Not my team, but
not your team.
maybe some
most
others.
teams. I look back at that run they had. It's like 7 draws.
Yeah.
They didn't actually pick
They
up.
beat,
They
they
scored
beat
loads of
Chelsea
goals.
and then drew like 4 times.
They drew to us,
after that.
drew to Liverpool, drew to a load of teams at Ellen Road.
Yeah, yeah.
And although it was, they picked up some decent points there.
Look,
they also dropped about 20.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
in
A
that
lot of those,
period.
a lot of those draws came from winning positions as well, which is not great.
Yeah,
when you
but
think about it.
like so, Stephen Weinrad here, big up for Super Chat, says Carrick is a perfect example of the sort of manager Spurs needed: immediate impact, simplicity, man management. We will get onto Carrick in a bit because I do want to talk to Nick about Carrick. But in the situation that Spurs stay up, right? Let's say Spurs stay up. Be it goal difference, be it 2 points, be it 3 points, be
What
it
is
1
their
point,
goal difference?
whatever. I don't even
must
know.
pray.
I don't know
We
what
must
their goal
pray.
difference is. But so let's
must pray.
say they stay up, right?
God forbid.
I do think if that happens, this appointment suddenly looks a lot better because De
Yeah.
Zerbi will have had a lot more time with the squad pre-World. Because some Spurs players will still be going to the World Cup.
Yeah, of course.
So they'll be back
that's if
late
they're
for
there
pre-season
next season.
and everything. If it could, this appointment, if they were to stay up, I do think could accelerate what De Zerbi can do next season because it's a 5-year deal, like just over 5 years. It's 2031. Mad that 2031 is only in 5 years.
He won't
time.
make it
But
there.
how long was Thomas Rank?
But, huh?
How long was Thomas Rank?
No,
Who was before
very,
Thomas
very
Rank?
true.
Who,
But
how
I
long was
do
Big Ash?
think-
How
I
long was
do
Jose
think-
and Conte and Jose? Oh, I don't want to hear this 5 years talk, please. We know we ain't going to be there.
Regardless, I do think it could be very good and beneficial for De Zerbi to actually have this period with them
Yeah.
True,
as long
maybe.
as he keeps them up. And so I do think next season, provided that Spurs miraculously get better at transfers and actually listen to him, because this is the thing, is that if they actually do listen to De Zerbi, it could work. Because the whole point is De Zerbi sits there and goes, I say this, the board does the opposite thing. I say I want this, board says the opposite. If the board actually sits there and actually concedes a fair amount of power to him, that is obviously a very big problem. That can be a big problem if you concede too much power to a manager. But if they were to do that, De Zerbi was to keep them up, and then they were to basically let De Zerbi cook effectively, it could be immediately become a much, much better situation for them.
No, I hear it,
Literally in like 6 months' time.
I hear it.
That is the other side
I
of
don't
it.
think the appointment of Robert De Zerbi is bad. I think he's, like I said earlier, I think he's a
Just bad
good coach. It's just like, bad timing. It's just in this moment in time, 7 games to go. Is he the guy that's going to get you out of the relegation crap? I don't know. But Dylan's point is fair. If they get through this, then next season, and he's already been in job, and so he can kind of have a conversation about transfers already before the World Cup. Don't have to worry about that. So there is a part to play in that as well. But he is just a madman. That's the other part of it. So it's just like I said earlier, chaos and chaos.
Is it just me that feels he looks kind of like Tony Stark? I keep every time I see a photo of Zerbi,
I don't
it's
see that
weird beard.
Nah,
I don't see it, but I see where you're coming from.
I said that because I've been rewatching the Iron Mans in the last week or so. But I keep looking at him and think he looks slightly like Tony Stark.
I don't see it, but I see where you're coming from.
That's a diss to Robert Downey Jr., bro. Robert Downey Jr. is a handsome man. Robert De Zerbi is not a handsome man. Look at him.
No, I know. But I'm talking about like I don't know, man. I'm waffling. But obviously, we spent quite a while on De Zerbi. But as I said, Nick, I do want to talk to you about Carrick a little bit because obviously when Carrick came in, obviously we were speaking about but the way that it's looking at the moment with so many other managers, so many other clubs, I'm finding it really hard not to feel that you just don't fix what ain't broke with Carrick.
What, as in going forward?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing is that it's very, very different being a caretaker manager and being a full-time manager. There's a lot of things you have to think about when you're a full-time manager. You don't have to worry about caretaker. And he's had the luxury of the one game a week. He's had the luxury of most of his players being fit. Lissandro's injured, Dorgu being injured, but a lot of the players have remained fit. So I am on board with Carrick to stay, especially so because when I look at the market of managers that's available to us right now, there's no one there that inspires me. I said this the other week on a Saturday show where I said in the world of Robert De Zerbi's, I'd rather keep Carrick. Yeah. And I still stick to that point. If you're talking about Iraola, if you're talking about Glasner, if you're talking about I don't know, Eddie Howe, let's say, there's no in that sort of category of managers, there's no one that inspires me. So unless you're getting Luis Enrique, which is not going to happen, because why would he leave PSG to come to United? Unless you're getting Luis Enrique, Carrick, I think, should stay, but don't expect it to be all, fun and what it has been so far, because not to say he's had he's done a tremendous job. He's done really, really well, better than any one of us would have expected. We would have never guessed that he would come in and we finished third. So credit to him there, but don't expect it to just carry on as it is when next season starts, because you've got to think about Champions League football, you've got to think about the squad, you have to get on with the board and the transfers. There's a whole other side to it that he's not had to worry about. What I will say about Carrick is he absolutely wants the job, because my man's at every
youth game. He deserves it, though.
Huh?
He deserves it.
Yeah, he deserves it, but he's at every youth game.
He is there every under 16s, under 18s, under 21s.
He's there, so he wants the job. That's the other thing.
100%.
I feel like he's proper Man United, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
So
Better the devil you know, yeah? Because
I don't want to hear that often.
Pun intended, yeah? But, because like you said, I don't think any of those other managers that you said, they're not such a level above that you go, this is worth it. Carrick has the advantage of being from the club, knowing what the club's about, and obviously I'm taking from his first stint, as brief as it was, they went, oh, this has the potential to work again. And it has, which I guess you can go, well done, Ineos, for getting something right for once. But I agree with you. I think right now, Manchester United is on a course where people didn't think at the beginning of the season there was any way of turning it around. No. And for him to be this consistent and to keep it going, like, he's definitely put his name in the hat of someone that should be a front runner for manager next year. Yeah. Like, the pool is so small for managers, especially managers that the fans want and think would be deserving of the role of Manchester United manager after having Ten Hag and I forgot the other Amorim. I forgot his name already. Yeah, Ten Hag and Amorim. Like, people are going to say, well, we want the elite guy now. And if we're not going to get the elite guy, at least Carrick is United.
Yeah.
But, do you know what I'm saying?
But also,
and it's not, and like you said, it's not going to be a smooth ride.
The elites don't always work out, though. Like,
what doesn't?
Just the elites don't always work out, though, in the sense that, like, from an Arsenal perspective, Arsene Wenger leaves, you go and get Unai Emery, who's a really good manager, like, knows what he's doing. And it was a car crash, really. Like,
I wouldn't call him elite, especially when you.
But he's
just under.
We're talking about someone. We're talking about someone that.
Yeah.
But it's won a lot, knows what it's about.
In the market right now, apart from Luis Enrique, maybe Tuchel, who's busy at England.
Yeah.
Who else is Ancelotti? Maybe
Brazil. Even in the market.
Who is
they aren't there.
Literally available and elite.
Who's elite that we could go?
I think that era of managers are just gone, really. Like, they're just older now.
We're in the next generation. We're in the next generation.
Join United.
Yeah, we're in the new generation.
We're in the new generation. We've got all the Marescas, the Artetas, etc.
Yeah,
they're all guys that are
Fabregas.
Carrick, even Fabregas. All these guys, they've done their. You're seeing them come through in the smaller teams. You've seen some of them who have worked their way up. You've seen guys like Arteta who's landed in a big job straight away. Do you know what I'm saying? And then we've seen guys like Gerrard and Lampard who initially they didn't be as successful. It happens. But now I feel like there was a funny period where there was a lot of players that were moving into managerial positions, but none of them were good. And now it's kind of like they've kind of all faded away, and we're kind of left with the guys that
English
can
ones.
actually do a thing.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
Gerrard's
So it's
called
time.
it.
It's time for the
Yeah.
new managers to come out and show what they're about and prove their worth. Because this is the thing is that as football fans, we get caught in the whole thing of nostalgia and legacy and stuff like that. And now we're looking at the people that have committed these elite accomplishments or whatever is getting smaller and smaller the further and further we get away from them. Do you see what I'm saying? So like after Pep goes, yeah, that's it, I'm done or whatever.
Yeah, there's not many left.
There's not a lot left. So
Yeah.
it's time for that new generation of managers to start making their...
Yeah, on United as well. Lastly, if we move on from United, but I think this summer, or in general, actually, I think recruitment is so much more important than whatever manager we bring in. I think if this season has taught me anything, it's taught me that if you recruit well in the summer, because Amorim, all right, it wasn't a total disaster when Amorim left. We were still 4 points off top four. It wasn't amazing, but it wasn't a car crash either. The reason why it wasn't a car crash for me is because Mbumo started well. Cunha started coming into it. Lemens brought a sturdiness at the back. Sesko
was great
kind of
the
getting
other
off.
day.
Yeah, he was. Sesko started
against
scoring
the US.
goals.
Yeah.
The save was unreal.
I was like, this is... Sorry to deter, yeah. Because today I watched that and I was like, oh, that's the... Since in this season, I haven't really seen him like, oh, that's the thing, because he just does all the little normal things you expect a goalkeeper to do. So in that game, I got to see him stretched a little bit. I went, okay, I'll see what he's about. This morning, I saw a video called "The Last 15 Shots Against Onana." Yeah, and it was giving ratings like good save, easy save, conceded, and something else or whatever. And it was like 3 goals. 6 easy saves, and the rest of them were just like saves or whatever. And it was so much fumbling of the
punches
ball.
against Grimsby.
Yeah.
That still went in.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
That was so
No,
fun.
I like
hate watch.
the more that I watch Sen Alomans, the more I'm like, I understand the baby Courtois comparisons. 'Cause
Yeah, he's
beyond the
unreal.
fact that
This is so
I know
funny.
obviously they're both Belgian,
Yeah.
but he does act a bit like Courtois does with those kind of punches and saves. and
Yeah,
stuff. But,
yeah,
You know, but big up to him. He's doing
So
his
funny.
thing.
23 as well for a keeper. Like you
He's
don't
doing well.
you don't see any 23 goalkeepers at that level. Not any. You couldn't even name me one.
What
really.
level- what
No,
level
Apart
is-
from maybe
as in,
Marcos
like,
saying
Garcia at Barca.
As in like big
Big clubs have a goalkeeper that's 23 or younger.
who are like
yeah, no.
obviously the established as
Yeah,
well. Yeah.
there's not many out there at all.
No, I
of
agree.
course not.
Yeah, I agree. But,
reason,
I do want to talk about the next generation of managers, and Mark Cucurella is not too happy with
Hold that.
Chelsea and their managerial decisions.
Wow.
We need to talk about this because this is
So funny.
crazy.
Hilarious.
This is the
International
best
break.
part of
Joe, this is
international
the best
football.
part about international break.
Is
And
when the
it's
players
always-
start coming out and chatting
It's
rubbish.
always this international break because it's the last international break before the summer window.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got the World Cup and stuff as well. But it's the March international break before the window opens where players decide to
time to plant the
They
seeds.
obviously in football terms, they just completely, they just say
dead.
say whatever they want. Like we've seen it over the years, well, with like Pogba and stuff as well coming out.
The Real Madrid stuff.
Maybe want a new challenge. Real
This is
Madrid.
why I'm so happy
Mark
none of our
Cucurella
players are
has literally just come out and basically gone, I don't know why we sacked Maresca. He went, if you're going to do that, do that.
Do it at the end of the season.
I never see, like, I can't recall a player before. Maybe obviously there have probably been examples, but in recent memory of a player who's actually been so direct when it comes to talking about these decisions. Because normally players be like, oh, it was sad to see him go, it was blah, blah, blah. I liked him, kind of hinting that you'd want him to stay. But Cucurella literally said, the moment Maresca left, it had a big impact on us. These decisions are taken by the club. If you asked me, I would not have made this decision. To make a change like that, the best thing is to wait till the end of the season. You give everyone, the players and new manager, time to get ready, have a full pre-season, etc., etc. Like, for me,
He's right.
it's so... he is right, but it's so mad. I think so. It's not so mad, but it's kind of crazy to see a player be so directly. Chelsea, it's just a mess.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What would you prefer? Enzo Fernandez's son or Mark Cucurella's daughter? Because they're basically doing the same thing. You got one player that's out there saying, I would love to live in Real Madrid, and you got another one that basically said, board's got no clue what they're doing, just sacked a guy that everyone likes and brought in this other guy that we don't really know or get along well with. Like, what's the difference? two yappers.
Yeah, but it's basically
hold
as
that.
well.
But
It's
but it's
basically
not
the
yapping,
senior.
is it?
No,
It
but
is
it's the
yapping,
senior
'cause
players.
it's true.
It is yapping.
But you're showing that
what they're saying is true.
it's showing that basically across the club that the senior players are thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
That's what it's showing. It's
They're
going,
thinking the
this
same
is
thing that we
because
are.
don't forget,
They are
both these men
aligned
are
with
signed to
Matisse in
12-year
this
contracts.
situation.
Exactly.
They're signed to 12-year contracts. And they're going to be
2030
looking at this going, oh, I need to get out of this 12-year contract because
Yeah.
I'm signed till 2045 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is how it's going. They brought in this manager. Because how many managers have they had in this Bowley era so far?
Potter.
6. Well, so they start,
Potter was the first.
He
Wait,
came
Lamps-
when Tuchel was
wasn't
still
Lamps in, right?
Lamps was caretaker though.
Caretaker.
Yeah, but
it
we'll
was,
count him, no?
Tuchel was
Potter-
there, sacked him. Potter,
Pochettino, Maresca.
Maresca and now Rosinha.
Now
You know what I'm saying? And some of these guys have
Damn.
been here and then been through all these managers, and now they've landed on Liam Rosinha, and they're going, right, come on,
thinking
guys,
Matisse
this
got
is
clear
this is
about
a
Rosinha
joke.
as well.
How have you ended up here?
Yeah.
It's mad. How they bought Chelsea, and imagine telling Chelsea fans like 4 years down the line of this new ownership, blah, 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 that you end up here.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's quite. I feel like it's actually quite clear, really, because from the get-go, maybe not from the get-go, but pretty early on, this board have kind of showed us that their priority isn't trophy success, but their priority is flipping players, essentially. Because that's what their whole model has been. Buy really, really young players, flip them for a profit, make Champions League football so money's still coming in. You basically told us from the get-go, we're not all that bothered about trophy success. We're more bothered about the finances being in place, making Champions League football, and like I said, flipping players. So
Sounds like another team.
Rosinha can kind of do that, right? Maresca wanted success, and he called out the board because he wanted more, and he wasn't getting more. My feeling to do with the players right now is like, I don't think Cucurella doesn't like Rosinha because he then made some other comments about Rosinha which were like, oh yeah, he's a good guy, he's good with the players, he has good tactical ideas, but we can't implement them because we have no time to train. So I think they like Rosinha, but they respected Maresca. I think that's the difference. And I think even when Maresca got sacked, I know Instagram posts, what do they really mean, whatever,
Yeah.
but a load of them posted, thank you coach, goodbye coach, da, da, da. So
Yeah.
you could tell even at the time they didn't want him to go. So yeah, I just feel like Chelsea are in just this limbo phase of not really just in and around top 4, top 5, and that's why Rosinha for me kind of resembles that.
And let's be real, Bowley's on vibes.
Yeah, he's on vibes.
The fact
My man said
that, the fact that
4-3-3.
all of us were making jokes about, oh, they're just looking at whoever everyone else is buying and then doing it, and then for him to come out and sit on the
actually
stage and
say
then
it.
actually say it. You know what I'm saying? What the hell?
Yeah,
Arsenal like Madrid. I'm gonna go get Madrid. Oh, Arsenal like Hato. We're gonna go get Hato, and it's just like it's so stupid.
But wasn't
It's not like
Cucurella
that.
one of them? He literally said,
Yeah.
Cucurella,
Yeah.
Man City wanted Cucurella.
Yeah, Man City wanted
So we
Cucurella.
just
So
outbid them.
Yeah, so we just decided like, come on. There's no serious. Look, how's this? This is just Spurs, but in a slower motion, fam. Because you got another. This is what
it's
it
not,
is.
Do you see them
It
going
is.
in that direction?
No. Why are we acting like Spurs weren't like this as well? A team that didn't care about winning things, just cared about making money, being in the top 5, maybe having attractive players and flipping them for profit. Look at where they are right now. Do Chelsea want to follow that route?
I'll tell you what the big difference is.
That's the reality. We're also forgetting that Chelsea right now are in so much financial trouble. If they don't make that top 5, they're looking at it like, rah, we've just made record losses for a team in Europe. Not even in a league, in Europe. So we're sat here looking at an incompetent board who I just think, look at people around you that have done the similar things to that and look at where they are now. Do you want to follow that route? And the answer is no. I don't understand their club.
I'll tell you what the difference is, is Chelsea, because they can't, build a stadium. If Chelsea built a new stadium like they wanted to, they would be Tottenham Part 2 right now, fighting relegation.
They'd be
because they would be literally... Tottenham thought, Arsenal done it. Yeah, I'm going to do the thing, build the stadium. Since they built that stadium, the struggle has been real. Yeah, you see that you can't spend money on the players that you think you could. This is why Papa Wegh's was doing a thing. If Chelsea built a new stadium now, they would be finished.
They'd be cooked.
They would be finished.
Cooked.
And the only reason why is because they can't build it.
They literally can't.
They literally can't build it.
But I said at the time to Matisse, I was like, I know Enzo Maresca obviously at the end made a few like bad comments, right? But I'm like, when you actually look at it, I'm like, he actually didn't really ask for much. So he went into the season like, right, our best centre back, Levi Cole, was torn his ACL. Can I please get a centre back? And they're like, you're just going to stick with Trevor Chalobah and Tosin. And like we've seen all season that they're not good enough. Like you actually put Trevor Chalobah out on loan for a reason because he's not good enough to start for Chelsea. Tosin, he's a Fulham reject. Even Fulham didn't want to keep him for a reason. Like, I just don't understand how they try to go about things. Like it doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, I agree. But also as well, it's why I look at it and you see all these comments about so it's been reported by Samuel Luckhurst a number of times. He's a Manchester United reporter. But he said that Cole Palmer's just
Cole
like
Palmer.
the word used was disillusioned.
Yeah.
And I can really see it.
Yeah,
he went to Chelsea because they said to him, "You've just balled out in the what tournament was he really? What was he? It's the Community Shield, wasn't it, for City? Just before
he
went
scored
to Chelsea,
against us.
Where he was sick in that final, and he was looking really, really good at City. But obviously, he was behind Foden and co. But obviously, we've seen Foden and co since. Well, Foden specifically as well drop off in form hugely.
Yeah.
Palmer would be ahead of Foden now at City. Chelsea sold him a massive project, and he's joined for like £40 million. This was 3 seasons ago now.
Yeah.
I bet you in those meetings they would have said, in 3 years' time, we're looking at the Prem Trophy, we're looking at Champions League, we're looking at this,
and you're going to be the guy.
I mean, they made him the face of the club,
and
gave a number 10 shirt.
And so he now sat there
that's
3
fair.
seasons later going,
what is it?
And also,
now what?
Yeah.
And also, Pochettino, a manager who looks like he really got on with, sacked. Maresca, another one that I think he really got on with, sacked.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Under Liam Rosenior, he's been unlucky because he's obviously been injured a lot. So we don't really know the extent of how much Cole Palmer maybe likes Liam Rosenior.
Yeah,
like we can't see it enough on the pitch to be like, oh yeah, he really likes him. But at the moment, he just looks very jaded.
And on top of that, you would be frustrated after having that and then going, one manager, and then one manager. And then even your injury, even though it might not have anything to do with that, you're still sitting there going, right, all this craziness is going on. And then what's going to fall into next season? Maybe I want to get out of here and start something new while I've still got time. Manchester United.
You know what as well? Like
I still think it's happening.
I think
not this summer.
Tier one sources. You heard right here on DR Sports, exclusive Cole Palmer to Manchester United.
I was wondering how long until we got your Thai reference.
That wasn't Thai. That's just my voices are all generic voices. Just like anytime I do.
But that is Thai.
No, there's a
derivative of Thai. That is a derivative of Thai.
If I was to do Thai, there'll be a little bit more growl and a little bit more extension.
But that is a derivative
There'll be more
of Thai,
rolling R's and stuff like that.
It's the end of it. It's the.
Is it because I went Manchester United? No, but
Manchester United.
But no, if I was doing a Thai and I said Manchester United, what about that time? But I was just stretching out the M because anytime Manchester United,
You know what's funny? Yeah, I see his influence around the office. Like I see people speaking like Thai.
He's no go.
Everyone does. Everyone does.
That's my uncle.
What I did want to say though about Chelsea though, is like, so they done well last season, right? They finished, what was it, 3rd? And they won Club World Cup and Conference League, right?
That's a banging season, by the way.
That's a pretty good season. It's a pretty good season, right?
But then think about it, right?
Yeah, that's what I meant, yeah.
Yeah, and then you go into the summer market, right? And with all due respect to all these players, you get players like Garnacho, like Gittins, like Hato, like Sarr. These are not the players that elevate
Garnacho for 40 million.
Do you know what I want to jump in
Richard,
there? Wait.
Richard had...
I want to jump in here,
Yeah?
Because I told Matisse, I said, Chelsea fans are so funny. You spent forever cussing Nicholas Jackson, cussing Madueke, just to go and get 2 even worse players, 2 bigger bums than them 2. It doesn't make sense. If you're going to get rid of Nicholas Jackson in his first season, scores 14 goals, which is a fantastic return, you go
Especially for a first season.
Exactly. You go and get rid of Madueke, and you're saying, right, he's talented, but don't score enough. Then you go and get Garnacho and Gittins. I actually I fail to feel sorry for
Like, I remember in the office, Richard, I was
and they're not even
joking.
starters.
I was kind of joking with him and also Matisse being like, 60 mil, yeah. And then Richard stood there and went, we're going to bid 40, you're going to accept it and you're going to take it. And you know what? And I'm like, you know what? Thanks for the 40, man. Like, I'll be real, thanks for the 40 million pounds.
Business.
But could you imagine if they had spent that summer going for the likes of a Donnarumma to sort out the Sanchez problem, a Mark Guehi, who
they tried to get Mike Maignan, but they didn't want to pay. It was like, it was something stupidly cheap.
Like
and I'm like, it was like in the 10, 13 million area. Like, just go and get the guy. You have the money. You got about 10 goalkeepers, still about 3 of them, and you can afford him.
Old School Candy in the comments just says Quenda in caps. How would you feel if you're someone like Quenda at the moment? Because his situation specifically is so funny because he was so linked to United, obviously, with having come through under Ruben Amorim at Sporting, came to United. Amorim was like, I want you at United. I need you, you know, your wing back or winger or whatever, number 10, wide number 10. He then goes to sign for Chelsea with the specific reason being that he doesn't want to play as a wing-back anymore. Chelsea are now playing this weird system. He could come in as a wing-back or not, but they've got so many wingers as well. They're just in a bit of a free fall at the moment in terms of they can't hang on results or anything. You're 17, 18 years old, looking at going, well, the next 2 years of my career is just going to be going through the motions at Chelsea, probably at Strasbourg instead as well, and then getting sold. That is the next 2 years of his career.
Steep.
That's what I mean, when it goes back to the player flipping, that's all it is.
Yeah.
But
it's crazy.
Some of them will stick, like a Caicedo, like an Enzo, like a Palmer. Some will stick. But that's why I also don't really understand. Like, when you're a young player, I understand Chelsea come knocking. It's always going to be tempting. It's Premier League. It's big money. It's a life-changing move.
And plus, they got a big thing for their academies. Even the players that are in the academies and end up going out into the loan system and stuff like that. Chelsea's one of the top teams for that.
No, they are. But like, I just think, like a Quenda, for example, because we're talking about him, he's got a really, really big future. And if he comes to Chelsea now and is stuck behind Pedro Neto, Palmer, maybe Esteval, maybe Gittins, maybe Garnacho, I don't know if they'll start or not. But like, I just don't see how you think that your career is going to develop when you're stuck, when you're not really got a place in the team.
True.
So it's
true, especially when you're going for the first team. If it is just a case of I'm in the academy and I'm here to learn and whatever, that's one
different.
thing. But when you're trying to play first team football and you just know, I'm just going to be here doing nothing.
Look at Tyreek George. He's their academy product. He's at Everton right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'd watch him sometimes. And I'm like, this kid's not too bad. Like, he's actually all right. He's maybe deserves a bit more minutes. Obviously, I'm not saying he should bench Pedro Neto, but he could come on a bit more. You could see him more. He just get sent on and I just think that's the reality for a lot of Chelsea players is like, okay, you've bought someone with like high hopes and they've got a really big future ahead of them, but what's the point if you go to a big club and just lose all your potential, sat on the bench for 2-3 years? Football's a very short career. You don't want to waste time at a club and like not playing.
It feels like every player that Chelsea sign, the story for them and how their career is going to go at Chelsea is already not written, but like decided.
It's one of two ways.
No, but as in, like, I feel like the club decides it.
Yeah.
Like, so they've bought Garnacho with the probably, like, obviously it's not. I'm not claiming it to be news or anything.
Yeah.
But he will be sold to Atletico Madrid for 65 million in a year or 2 years' time. But that is
off to Napoli
Chelsea. Like, they decide the stories of their players. Before
they hoard
before
talent.
they even actually sign them.
They're like hoarders of talent. Like, I just
there's actually a lot. What City did a few years ago. Remember they signed like Wilfred Bonny and stuff.
Yeah,
just to make sure that no other club signed them.
Yeah.
Chelsea are doing that, but with like these young talents who aren't even consistent anyway.
Do you know it's the equivalent of, like in this internet space where people they'll make a statement, which it might be outlandish, it might not be or whatever. But if it lands in 3 months, they could turn around and say, I told you so.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's putting that seed there straight away.
I said that 3 months ago.
Yeah, I said that 3 months ago. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Going mad. Yeah. When really you knew that if you make this statement and then maybe people will forget about it because it didn't happen. But if you get it right, you can go, I told you so, I told you so. Yeah. So Chelsea's I told you so's are, we'll keep this guy. He can do us something, and then if
selling
it's not,
the other 8,
sell the other ones or whatever, and we could still turn a little profit on it.
And also as a manager, especially, how are you meant to deal with that? Like, actually, this is why part of me is like, I feel for Maresca, I feel for to a certain extent like Liam Rosenior and stuff as well. How are you meant to deal with a club that's just going to pump 50 different, like that video of all of them in the gym? From last season, which is just one of the most hilarious videos I've seen because it perfectly encapsulates everyone being like Chelsea's squad of like 45 players. You see the video in the gym, and it's like being in pure gym at like 7 a.m. or like 8 p.m. after work. It's crazy, but like I do feel for the managers as well because what are they meant to do? They go, I've got this plan where I want to play X, Y, Z, and suddenly they go like, and how about this one, this one? Like Liam Rosenior, I don't even know if he knows anything about Quenda. Quenda was signed like 2 managers ago, and now he's only just arriving.
But that's why I feel like the manager that got the worst was Graham Potter, really, because he came in at the time where it first started, where they literally they couldn't even fit everyone in the changing room. And you saw in each game, he'd start a completely different team. At least with Liam Rosenior, luckily for him, Pochettino and Enzo Maresca's kind of laid down, like, who's starting, do you know what I mean? Especially Enzo Maresca, he's laid down what the spine and the basis of that team is. And then you talk about someone like Aquenda, at least maybe in a pre-season, or he'll have a pre-season with Aquenda. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'll have time to actually see those players. Whereas someone like Graham Potter, although I hate him, like he was just, oh, here's Omari Hutchinson, oh, here's Conor Gallagher, here's this player, we need you to play this, we need you to play Arthur Gilchrist. Like, it was just like bang, bang, bang. And I think that's why he just failed before he could even start.
Yeah, but even in that situation, if you talk about Rosini, obviously, if he's still at Chelsea, we'll have the preseason stuff. It's like Rosini might go, I need a winger, and they're just going to go, well, we've got Quenda.
No, we don't want to hear that because he was there saying Pedro Neto was world class. Deal with that. Hold.
Yeah, but also Rosini won't complain. And that's part of the reason why he's there. He won't complain.
Yeah,
about
he's
that.
full yes man
Just
mode.
try and crack on with
Like,
it.
And I feel, because I don't want to call him a yes man, because I think that's harsh.
is.
But
He is.
because he's a young coach and he's on his way up and he's been given such a big opportunity, it's almost like getting. It's like
Bruv, he will jump whatever hoops he needs to keep the job and say because he knows.
You're more giving.
Yeah, he's going to be more forgiving. He's not going to be like a Maresca. But I know go back to the point about the summer transfer window, but I just think if you're a Chelsea fan, you're fuming because you could see the groundwork
I've
of
not seen
something
the team smile
serious
this
building.
year.
Like you could see something. I think anyway, under Maresca, you could see something being gelled and
a
coming
decent
together.
manager.
And then like all you had to do was back him with a few, and also like you didn't need to let go of like Nicholas Jackson, for example. Like you could have kept.
Yeah, you could have just
kept the core players there, added a few into it, and then they're probably comfortably in the top 4 by now. Actually, I'm not saying they challenge for the title, but who knows? Maybe they'd be closer to the title.
At the beginning of the season, they were saying that.
Yeah,
they were.
Matisse was sitting right there going,
but with the recruitment that they made, it never would happen.
Wait, Alex, can you stop talking about Dzeko in the chat, please? Thank you very much.
Alex, AGT? Or
No, it was just.
is it
Alex, We've been over this. I was
Edin
here the next
Dzeko,
morning,
big up my brother.
really hungover talking about it. We've been
got
there,
dunked
we've talked
on,
about it.
literally
we
by
did get
a
dunked
40-year-old.
on.
Big up my uncle Dzeko.
Fuming. But anyway,
Hold that.
if we're talking about Enzo Maresca like that, then, and obviously Pep Guardiola could be leaving Man City, do you think if Maresca, because City, well, I know it's under Pep, so it's hard to work out how they would be with another manager. Obviously, they give Pep they give him a lot of yard, they give him a lot of rope to make his own decisions. That seems to be, obviously, he's known at Man City already, having been worked under Pep. Could then that be an indication that Maresca could actually do a decent job if he was to go to Man City? Because he has been linked with that job even when he was still at Chelsea. He's been linked with that job possibly. Like, let's say he was to get that rope, and let's say he was to get that time and investment that Man City have, not the same amount they give Pep Guardiola, obviously, because Pep Guardiola obviously came as a treble winner. Do you think they would?
No. I think there would
be
half an expectation because there's already a team built there. It's not like he has to come in and go, oh, I need this many. But obviously, he will need to make his additions and what he thinks the team needs to work best under him. But I think half of it's going to be, right, you've got Pep's team right now. And the other half will be, we'll give you like a year and a bit because you need to get acclimated with this team. Then we need to see you make your changes. But then after that, it's going to be, well, you better be on winning ways.
How much is it Pep's team though? Because it's like 12 players in the last 12
I was actually about to say though, like
it's not that Pep team.
It's not that Pep team.
That
no,
Pep
but
team.
it's still a team under
It's a transitional
Pep.
squad.
Yeah, I was about to say
But it's still a team under Pep that is competitive in all competitions. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like they signed a bunch of players, they fell off, and then he went, I'm leaving now. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not a rubbish
I
team.
kind of get it, but also Maresca does know that Pep team that kind of we might be referencing because he was there.
Yeah, of course.
I also just think like we also need to remember Man City in the summer might look very different. Like you've got Rodri twerking for Man City, you've got Bernardo Silva leaving on a free. Like kind of those big senior players might not actually be there.
It's
in
another
the summer.
mini rebuild.
So you're actually asking Enzo Maresca, right?
like Rodri in Madrid and stuff,
yeah, we actually might need we're gonna need another DM. We're gonna need another attacking midfielder, Phil Foden. You're gonna have to get him back into, his good form. Like, it's actually going to be quite hard for everyone. They got centre backs that they kind of have to move on as well. Like,
no, yeah, and also a lot of their new signings haven't really taken up. Like, if you think like Marmoush hasn't really worked, Reinders hasn't really worked. Kusanov is good, but it's going to take some time. Ain't Nuri hasn't really worked. There's a lot of signings, and also those three signings, by the way,
mixed bag.
Mixed bag, and also those three signings there: Marmoush, Reinders, Ain't Nuri. There's probably others, right, that are not Pep style players at all.
Yeah,
they're very different to what Pep likes. But also another thing as well. I don't know about you lot, but I'm not sure that Pep leaves in this way. Like, if he goes out having just won the Carabao Cup and nothing else, I don't think his ego will let him walk away with that being his lasting season. You know what I mean?
He sat there going, "I've
Why
got one
though?
more in me."
Yeah. For example, Fergie, he debated leaving in 2012. Man City win the title. He goes, "No, I'm staying one more season.
Yeah.
I'm winning this title, and I'm leaving on a high." I think Pep's got that same kind of ego where he's not going to leave knowing Arsenal have just won the league. He will want to leave when he's won the league.
What if they don't win the league next year either?
Then that's
Is he then going to go
Carrick
give
never
me another
could go.
contract?
different conversation.
Nah.
Yeah, different conversation. But
definitely go.
my gut feeling just tells me that someone with the ego of Pep won't be happy going out like this. He's already out of the Champions League. What, FA Cup? What, domestic double? Is that enough for Pep? I don't know. My gut.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, he
Even
came-
a bit of that. If
he
he
came
wins a
in
double,
winning the Carabao though.
Huh?
That was what he won in his first season, though. Or
So
his
what-
first trophy
Bookend.
was the
Yeah,
Carabao.
first trophy, yeah.
It's still, I don't know.
but even a double here, like
A domestic double, maybe.
Domestic
if a
double's still
journal
great.
in the press conference went to him and went, "Oh well, Pep, you didn't really leave on that much of a high. You didn't win the Premier League or a Champions." He'd be like, "I won a domestic double, no?"
Yeah.
I know,
Do you know what I'm saying? He
For
would,
him though, I know what
That's,
you mean.
that's
Yeah, I
if
know
they
what
get
you mean.
past Liverpool.
yeah, well,
Yeah,
True.
Dead Liverpool.
Saturday,
team,
yeah.
bro.
Which they should.
Which
But
I
on
think
that
we're
note,
doing
though, I
watch
think
alongs
Maresca
that, by
good
the way.
work.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
watch alongs
Nice.
that Liverpool game.
Make sure they're.
Yeah.
I won't be.
I think that I do agree with you, Nick. Ultimately, I do agree with you. But then I also don't want City to win the league.
Well, obviously, yeah. I'm just, yeah. Obviously.
But
I don't think anybody here wants
I
Man City
want
to win
Pep
the
to
league.
go, but I don't want them to win the league.
But you know what it is though, like what you just said there, I think is true as well. Because like even if he does stay one more season, the way they're looking right now, I'm not looking at them thinking, "Oh, I'm worried they're going to win the league next season." Do you know what I mean? Like,
And even that 2 years,
Fair.
because we're talking about a bunch of players that are coming in and they don't really feel like Pep transfers and something like that. That's because it feels like it's the end.
Yeah,
you
I
know
know
what I'm
what you
saying?
mean.
Not
The
if he's
club
staying
signings.
for another season, then it feels like he would have made sure that he's got the players so that when he does that next season, they would be here.
Yeah, I feel like everything we're saying now, we probably said last season, and he actually said, "Yeah, I'm going to stay for a bit longer."
Yeah.
So this might actually just be his last.
as well, when was the last
Yeah.
time that 2 years in a row Pep didn't win the league title in anywhere he's been?
Yeah,
think
that's
it's
so
ever
true.
I don't think it's ever happened.
never happened.
It's literally from the beginning. I think he's only had one.
Time,
missing
he's going to
here
do
and
the
there.
sabbatical again, fam.
Say that again.
He's going to do the sabbatical again.
Yeah. But before we wrap up as well, have you guys seen what's happening with Lukaku?
No.
What now?
Is that
Well, is this their token hate player now?
Yeah.
Well, so Lukaku just he withdrew from Belgium's squad, opting to focus on his fitness.
Yeah.
And then he just didn't turn up for training at Napoli.
Oh.
And it says Romelu Lukaku did not respond in today's call up for the resumption of training. The club reserves the right to decide whether to take appropriate disciplinary action, as well as to continue with the player's activity with the squad on a permanent basis. And then after that, they called him again, and they were like, "Look, you've not turned up. We talked about this. Do you want to come in?" And he's just gone, "Nah."
Lukaku,
His career's
man.
weird, isn't it?
Yeah, he's
such a funny guy.
journeyman, but he's also just one way or another. Trouble has kind of followed him everywhere he's gone. Like Inter, he had issues. Chelsea, he had issues. Napoli, now issues. So it's like there's a pattern growing there. I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those, isn't it? Because you can look at it as, Lukaku's a problem player, or you can look at it as Lukaku's one of very few who will stand up for what he believes in if he feels like the club isn't dealing with him in the way that they should.
Yeah.
Because a lot of players will just put their head down and get on with it anyway.
Yeah.
So we're not privy to the information, or we're not privy to what's really going on. So we don't know what end of the spectrum it's at. But one way or another, there's always kind of been trouble wherever he's gone. So, yeah.
I don't know. He's hard to judge, isn't he? It's just like sometimes I look at him and just like, I feel sorry for you, and then other times I'm like, actually, you brought it upon yourself. And I think two things can be true. Like in this instance, I'm like, if you're going to withdraw because you're injured, completely understand. But then you also have to report that back to your club. You have to, if you're not going to turn up for training, you have to communicate that with your club and say, right, I'm not 100%. I don't think necessarily being on grass right now is the right thing for me. Your club, obviously, they pay. The reality is they pay you to play for you. Like, do you know what I mean? You have to think of it in the sense that the club's giving you like.
It's your boss,
Not
bro.
permission, but they've released you to go to play for Belgium. Like the very least is at least go back to your club and speak. And as well, he's had a few injuries this season as well. So I just feel like just communicate that with your club. So in this instance,
because what it is Belgium found a slight injury.
Yeah.
They told Napoli, and then Napoli were like, "Cool, come back."
And he's been like, "No."
Injury, and he's just gone, "No."
So has he stayed with Belgium, or is he just like,
No, he's just
Naples.
MIA, bro.
He's
just
chilling.
Man
He's
said, I'm
probably-
putting on the Timbs
he's
and I'm
probably in
going
the
out.
US, right? He's probably in the US somewhere right now. Like let's
he
be
does
real.
have them ones, little
Yeah.
Miami trip.
I mean, obviously we don't know. But it's just
Bro, we saw him
really
out with Meg
bizarre.
Thee Stallion at one point. Like he's out here doing a mazzle all the time.
How old is he now?
Lukaku's early 30s.
Yeah.
He's on a bit now.
Yeah, man's getting ready to wrap it up.
32, yeah.
30.
Out of, so obviously we're sponsored by Rocket
was at
Mobile,
Arsenal,
and we
yeah,
like
he would've been
to,
killing
you know,
it.
we like to rank things on the show. Rocket Mobile, obviously, £16 a month unlimited calls, text, data, and 20 gigs to use in select countries in the EU, plus perks, content, and other prizes. So sign up using the QR code at the bottom of your screen. Oh, clearly I'm not 100% back, but and then there's also link in the description and in the live chat as well. But for Rocket Ranked, I just kind of thought about this because Lukaku is one of those weird players where simultaneously you go, did he hit the heights that we thought he would? But also, he's had a mad good career.
Yeah.
He's had an incredible career. He's gone for 80 million plus, like on 70 million
played for
plus,
big
like on
clubs.
3 different times. We bought him for 75, Napoli bought him for about 70, and Chelsea bought him for about 83 million as well.
Yeah.
So he's accrued like so much money in transfer fees. He's won league titles at Naples.
No,
Or was it Inter? Sorry. It was
Yeah.
Inter, sorry, as well. But no, but they won the league last season.
He wasn't there.
Yeah, he was.
He only
that
signed
was,
this
that was
summer.
Osimhen, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Osimhen, yeah, sorry, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But like, is he? I don't know if you can think of any other players as well who maybe are kind of like this. It's like they were really, really good, but also felt like they never quite like. So I'd say, for example, Eden Hazard at Madrid. Like, obviously, Eden Hazard was one of the best winners we've ever seen in the Prem when he was absolutely at his best. At the same time, he also had weird seasons where he didn't score for a year.
Yeah.
He went through Madrid for 140 million pounds, and then
I'll put Pogba in that. You know?
Yeah.
Pogba's another one.
Yeah, I
What
think
about Bex?
Morata's quite like a similar.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of
Oh
that
my
promising
days.
start.
Definition of journeyman.
Yeah, that's a good
Everywhere.
one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Oh my days.
That's so true, you know.
I forgot about
How
him.
can I forget
I'm
about
gonna get, I'm gonna get Morata's
Morata's
player pass.
Do not bring me this guy.
Because also Morata's won a lot of titles.
Yeah.
That's the
Look,
thing.
Morata, right, started with Real Madrid. Then he went to
Juve,
Juventus
right?
for 2 years.
Yeah.
Then he went back to Real Madrid for a season. Then was at Chelsea for 3 years, but also on loan at Atletico Madrid. And then joined Atletico Madrid.
Verticala.
And then went on loan to Juventus, back to Juventus. And then for 2 years, then to AC Milan. And then he was loaned to Galatasaray. And now he's on loan at Como.
And they're fourth, mate. Fourth.
Nicholas Anelka settings, bro. That guy's been
word.
everywhere.
But bro, when he was at Juventus, there was one counter-attacking goal that Juventus scored against Real Madrid where Cuadrado scored it, but it was Morata and Cuadrado that was on the counter-attack.
This guy.
And I watched that and I thought, yo,
Thank you for
this
the Liverpool
kid-
moment,
How different
brother.
would his have got? Because who did we sign? We signed Lukaku instead of Morata, didn't we, that summer?
We were linked to him, but everyone's been linked to
Yeah,
him.
we were linked to him.
Morata dyed his hair red. Do you not remember this?
What does that? So what?
Do you not remember it was we were really closely linked to Morata, and
So
then
what?
Morata put a photo out with like red dyed hair, and everyone was
Although
like,
he was linked to
And he went to
everyone
Chelsea.
under the sun.
Yeah.
But
Not
even
even
at
joking.
Chelsea, I remember his abysmal record at Chelsea. The fans hated him.
Yeah,
They hated him.
well, he got 16
He's so
goals in
funny.
47 league appearances.
Yeah.
What, for Chelsea?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they can't. They don't. I mean, João Pedro's doing well now, but they haven't had a good striker for a while.
Yeah, you know they got
Since Costa,
curse of
really.
number 9 shirt in it.
Yeah. Since
Yeah.
Costa.
Well, since we found our strikers, we've not had like a nailed down striker for more than a season. For
Benjamin now.
yeah, we got big Benny Sesko. I like
I
it.
mean, Jezigo.
I do like him.
Shit.
But no, Morata's a
Shit.
great. I do think Pogba's a great shout as well.
Yeah.
Because that
I like
is
Pogba.
like one of the best midfielders ever watched play
Yeah.
football.
And the thing
Hands
is,
down.
the thing is
I
that
like
we've
Pogba.
seen that when he played in Italy, and especially when he played internationally for France, he was doing amazing things. And then every time he came back to Manchester United, there was always questions. The fans were getting onto him. Sometimes, bruv, I was sitting in Old Trafford, and there would be times when Pogba's not even involved in the play. Yeah, and someone else messes it up or whatever, and they're going, "Oh, it's Pogba's fault."
I think
I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
I
there.
think
it was crazy.
it was such a
scapegoat.
disgrace the way that United fans escape. I'm a massive fan of Pogba.
Yeah.
Hence why I'm.
So am I, actually.
defending
I'm not
him so
even a
much.
United
But he his first season we signed him for
He's a
89 million
baller.
pounds. He was incredible that first. He was so playing as a number 6 that season
Yeah.
as well. So he was a number 8, number 10 at Juventus. We signed him, put him at number 6, and he was still so good that season. Then it did go up and down. That's kind of the whole point. It went up and down, but it never went there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As much as everyone said it did.
It didn't.
Like
It didn't.
people talk about like big money flops at United, and then whenever people mention Pogba, I'm like, how?
No, I
The
don't.
guy
remember,
won.
it's
The guy
just-
won 3. He
it's
won like
just-
2 or 3 trophies
yeah,
with us.
man.
Do you know
he
what
scored in a
it's-
final for us in his first
And
season.
injuries got him as well.
I feel like,
Bad.
unfortunately for you guys as well, like you just had ex-players coming out slating him every week as well, so
Yeah.
it didn't help with his PR. Like the reality
Nothing's
is,
changed.
in terms of in terms of PR, it's weird because although at the
yeah.
time he was kind of like one of the faces of Adidas and stuff,
yeah.
but like.
He did some
He still
stupid
had some really negative
what it is,
PR,
though?
like
But
small
they'll
things. that
get onto
trigger
him
people.
about changing his hair every time
Yeah,
he changes
exactly.
his hair and all that stuff.
Like,
Oh,
if
why are
we're
you dyeing
being
your hair
real,
blue?
Yeah, it was
If
just
we're being
mad.
Why are you
real,
dancing
yeah?
at your brother's wedding?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
what
How
is
dare
happening
you
here?
post that prayer on Instagram? Like,
if we're just
bro.
being real, like it's the hair, it's the clothes, it's the
Yeah,
fact that
it's
he's
'cause he's a
expressionate and likes to
flamboyant
dance.
person, yeah.
It's because of all them things that he becomes an easy target for mainstream media,
And,
and
it
it
was
made
also,
titles out of him.
Am I right in
headlines.
thinking it was obviously we broke the
Yes.
world record transfer for him, but also
Premier League record.
absolutely smashed the British one because it was Di Maria at like 40-ish mil before, wasn't
That
it?
was
Or
like
like
60
45
Yep,
mil.
and then you let him go for free twice.
What, Pogba?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
The
it's
club, no,
ridiculous.
look,
What
with
a
Pogba,
fluff.
the club let him down so much because
I think it's definitely more on the club than it was
yeah,
on
of course. I'm sorry, but like you sign a player like Pogba. Where was he at? Where is he? There's two places where he's been at his best. One was at Juve when he had a deep lying Andrea Pirlo like pulling the strings behind him.
Yeah.
The second place was France where he had N'Golo Kante sweeping everything up behind him.
Yeah.
Pattern's there, bro. Get him a DM. Get him another six.
We
Just
said
to
it for
sit
6
behind
years.
him.
And look,
never
we,
gave him
we
anyone.
got Matic.
We got Fred and McTominay.
Yeah, but like, well, when Pogba was next to Ander Herrera, that was brilliant.
period
Yeah,
was
yeah.
that
When you had
period was so good. There
Herrera,
was balance.
but even then, because when you brought in Matic, even though he was like good at the beginning and that, he was
Matic's
tail
first
end.
season was great.
Yeah, but he was at the
but it
tail end of his thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
It was like the Casemiro one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Casemiro was so. I know now is obviously he's great, but that's like 60-minute Casemiro once a week. That's why he's playing so well under Carrick at the moment.
Yeah.
Well,
We
not
saw
even
him for
once a
Brazil,
week at the
though.
moment, right? Huh?
We saw him for Brazil. Carry on.
Yeah, and I was even going to say just the players that were around him. You had like Juan Mata as well at the same time. They just didn't meet the levels that they needed to build the team around him. Like that's when the team kind of became stagnant, and then his injuries on top of that, it just kind of, man, that hyena under Old Trafford.
Yeah, trust me. You lot better dig that up, bro.
What?
The
No,
hyena.
I think they did.
put it down
I
there?
think they did, and they sent it off with Amarim, fam. that's what they said. No, this hyena's real. This is real.
We employed Amarim to find that hyena. He found the hyena and we sacked him.
I'm dead.
Done. Finished that here.
Yeah. No,
Worth
I
it
just
then, innit?
because I've not thought about Pogba United for ages because that was also in a time where I was in my like early to mid teens. You know, you just like properly like idolized players, and we had Pogba there. Rashford was coming through. Like, NHS Martial was there as well.
Yeah.
Like,
I can just imagine what you was like during Pogba time.
Oh,
It's so funny.
I love
Brilliant.
him, bro. I
It was
adored the guy,
so
can't
good.
lie.
I adored
I know
him so
Dylan was
much.
dancing. I just
Yeah,
know,
100%.
I just know he was dancing.
100%.
Are you done? When the Stormzy video dropped, I was going.
I know Dylan was dancing.
I just remember because it dropped at like 2 a.m.
Did it? Hard.
Yeah, I remember we announced it. Like I remember, I was getting.
I know you was dancing.
I was going on holiday the next day. I had to get
I
up
was
at like
dabbing.
6 a.m. to go on holiday, and there was like I was on Facebook at like 2 a.m. refreshed just once to see if, and it came up being like with the whole "I'm back" thing, and I was
crazy.
So
I
funny.
fell for it so much, but it was Oh, that's made me sad now. I miss Prime Paul
I like
Pogba.
And also, I feel like his story is a bit sad. Like the whole thing with his brother.
Yeah, his family.
Yeah.
and
Suspension.
And then the
It's just
suspension.
everything's. Yeah,
And we're back
it
with
could have been
Monaco
so
now,
much
but
more.
he's then had several injuries as well. So
Yeah.
he's barely played for Monaco. But
Yeah.
pretty much wraps up the show.
Nice.
Yeah, no, stop.
Yeah.
By the way,
Josh,
Robert
Kenya.
Zerbi, sorry,
Yeah?
no relegation clause.
No relegation clause.
No relegation clause.
I knew it. I knew
He's
it.
getting that pee. He's getting bread. We know that.
The more details that come out about Zerbi and everything else over the next week or so, we'll be here to cover it 5 to 6 p.m. every single day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, click the link for the Rocket Mobile deal in the description. It's a fantastic deal. And if you want to donate to my marathon fund, it's in 12 days' time. Link is also in that description.
Click the link.
Get donating. I will shout out everyone who donates on the next stream.
You can do
Thank you
it.
so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Cheers.
Let's go. What do you do with yours? I do unlimited football content.
Well, I do unlimited bragging.
Well, I do unlimited swiping right.
Well, I do unlimited doom scrolling.
Well, I do unlimited sliding into the DMs.
Well, I do watching TikTok on the bus without headphones unlimited.
Oh, God.